In this video, I will show you how to add an appointment booking system to your Shopify store quickly and easily. So your customers can come in, they can choose the date that they would like to book their appointment on, they can choose the time that they would like to book, and then in here, they can go through, they can enter their details, and they can book this appointment. The first thing that we need to do is open up Elfsight. This is the tool that we will be using to build the widget, and I've linked it in the description below. Go ahead and click on that link, and it will take you straight over to this page. This link also ensures that everything connects properly when we embed it. From here, just enter your email into this box to sign up for free, and then on this next page, create your password. Just like that, we are signed up and ready to go. Okay, so once we are signed up to Elfsight and we have access to all of the Elfsight widgets, and this is why Elfsight is so awesome, because there's just so many different widgets in here and so many different things you can add to your Shopify store. But the widget that we are specifically looking for is the appointment booking widget. So to find this, we just want to go right to the top of the page. And then in here, in search widgets, we just want to type in appointment, or we can start typing this in and it's going to appear. So we can click on appointment booking and it's now going to ask us to choose a template. Now, honestly, the template that you go for, it really doesn't make a difference because all of these are completely customizable. But with some of the templates, we essentially have like a button down here that people can click on and open. Some of these are embedded onto the site. Some of these are for different purposes. But as I say, even if you don't find anything that matches your exact business, these are all completely customizable anyway. So as an example, let's go ahead and I'll just choose this one. We can click continue with this template. And in here, we can now go ahead and add in the services that we offer. So as this is like a barbershop, I'm going to stick with this same theme. So to add a new service, we just click on add service right here. We can create the service name. So I'll say men's skin fade, just like this. We can then add a description. So I'm just going to cheat a little bit and I'm just going to copy this. And instead of haircut, we'll say skin fade. But we can add the description there. We can then add a picture if we would like. So to do this, we just click on add and then we can upload file and choose the file that we would like to upload from our computer. We can then choose the duration of this and we can also set the price as well. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to $60. We do have a few different options in here though. We can choose from. We can choose if this is free, we can choose if the price isn't there at all, or we can choose the regular fixed price and the currency that this is in. Once this has been added, we can go ahead and click on done. And this is how we can add in all of the different services. We can also change the widget title that shows up here at the top. So instead of book your appointment, maybe we can say something like book your haircut, just like that. So that is the services area. We can then go down to hours, and this is where we can set up our schedule. So we just click into each of these days, and then we can change the working hours. So right now, this is 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. We can choose if we are available or unavailable on that day, and we can set all of the hours. We can also set date-specific hours. So for example, if I want to take Christmas off, what I could do is let's go from the 24th all the way up until New Year. So just like this, we can take these off and we can say Christmas holidays because we are not going to be open. We can change this between unavailable or custom hours. So if you do have custom hours on certain dates, you can set this up, but I'm just going to say we're completely unavailable. We can then choose the minimum advance booking. So how far in advance somebody needs to book. By default, this is 1 hour before, but we can go ahead and change this. We can also choose the max advance booking. So how far out somebody can book an appointment. By default, this is 2 months, but once again, we can change this and we can also change the time zone. Then we can go down to profile, and this is where we are going to be editing this box right here. So we can choose if we want to show this at all, or if we just want to show our services. We can then choose the business name, we can add a description, add a cover image, a logo or a profile photo, and then down here we can add all of our information like phone number, WhatsApp, Instagram, address, email, and website. Finally, we can go over to design, and in here we can choose how this is embedded. So is this somewhere on the site that people click on? Is this a floating button that's going to follow people around the site and they can click on this? Or is this just going to be embedded on the site? We can then choose the width, which I wouldn't play around with because it will mess up the dimensions. We can then choose the background for this to better suit your website. If your website is a specific color, maybe you have a dark website, but I'm just going to leave this as it is. We can choose the text color, the accent color, and the font as well. So once you have this set up and created, and you now want to put this on your Shopify store, all we then have to do is click on publish. And Elfsight is now going to take us over to this screen where we can now choose a plan. Now, the plan that you go with is going to depend on how many monthly views your Shopify store gets. So with basic, we can have 5,000, pro is 50,000, so on and so forth. But you probably want to get started with this free plan right here, just so that you can test Elfsight out. You can add this to your website and see how this looks. So we can select the free plan. And then once this is selected, Elfsight is now going to give us this piece of code that we can use to put our appointment booking system onto our Shopify store. So all we have to do is click on copy code, and then we just go over to our Shopify store. From here, we can click on add section, and the section that we want to add is called custom liquid. So we can add custom liquid, and then in this liquid code box, we just paste in the code that we just copied. And just like that, our appointment booking system has now been added to our Shopify store.